Right, now the monarchy is set to receive a boost of more than £45 million. That's with a 53% jump in its official annual income to more than £130 million next year.
So historian and broadcaster Rafe Heydel-Mankoo joins us now. Good morning, Rafe.
Good morning.
Is this actually true? Are the taxpayer funding the royals, or is it their own money that we give back to them?
Technically, yes. In reality, no, is a simple answer to all of that. Yes, so what we've seen here is that the monarchy's finances are going to increase. Well, the sovereign grant, which is money given to the monarchy for its official duties, travel costs, staff costs, maintaining its properties, that's currently around 86 million.
Yeah.
It's going to increase next year to 132 million, and that's because of something called the Crown Estate. And the Crown Estate are a £16 billion portfolio owned by the King in right of the Crown, so not his personal property, but his property as sovereign, includes Regent Street, parts of St James's, but also the seabed around the country. And it's that 12-mile seabed that's actually the reason for this temporary spike in profits, because the Crown Estate has been leasing off wind farm project rights, and because of that they've had their profits more than double to 1.1 billion. Now the King at the start of his reign always surrenders all that money to the Treasury, so the Treasury gets 88% of that 1.1 billion, 968, and the monarchy gets 12%, 132. So it's one of those things where everybody's a winner, which is a nice story to say. And actually the King should be getting 25% of that. He should actually be getting 275 million, but His Majesty, knowing they was going to have this windfall, decided that the bulk of that 13% should go to the public good. So another reason to be grateful for our King.
Rafe, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to take the role of a Republican and say, why do we need these royals prancing around in big palaces like Buckingham Palace, Clarence House and so on? They spent £166,000 having a jolly around Kenya, Charles and the King. Lots of
Hardly a jolly.
Lots of other royal tours. When so many people are struggling with the cost of living, there's a homelessness crisis, why should we be paying
well,
for these people?
The main point is, of course, as we've just explained, we're not paying, actually. So whilst, you know...
But that money could be spent for other causes.
Well, the important thing to realise, of course, is that the cost of the monarchy is actually only around 77 pence per person, if you exclude the cost of refurbishing Buckingham Palace, which, of course, you would need to do. The French still look after Versailles, after all, don't they? So 77 pence per person, that's not even the price of a cup of tea at McDonald's.
And this is the question, isn't it? Do we want a presidential system that's not free at all, and it has political disadvantages, certainly, or do we want this rather uniquely British arrangement where we allow Charles to be king, he gets to keep some of his money and we take the rest? It's very uniquely British, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think 77 pence is a lot to pay for 1,000 years of history and tradition and stability, and that's what the monarchy provides us with. And we're not a small country like Belgium or the Netherlands, which have bicycling monarchies. You know, we are a great power, a large country, and the monarchy must be seen to be believed, because you have the monarch as the head of state, but also as head of the nation. It's those important functions of social cohesion and civic society, opening hospitals, going to soup kitchens, going to see St John's Ambulance, homeless shelters. That's where the monarchy really comes into being, as being a vital part of the social fabric of this country. So we need a large royal family to go up and down the breadth of this land, performing those important functions.
There's some great colour from the accounts. For example, Prince William took home £23 million of private income. He will pay tax on that, won't he? Frogmore Cottage, where Harry and Meghan were once living, they, of course, funded the £2.5 million renovation. That's been empty for the last year.
But they've refunded that money, so they've paid that back.
They paid that back. But also, solar panels on Windsor Castle. Is this a sign of the King's green agenda at play?
Absolutely. We also learned that the Bentleys have been repurposed to run on biofuel, with a view to also having a fleet of electric cars. There are 2 new helicopters coming in, it should be said as well, on the other side, but that's because the current ones are 15 years old, and I think we could all understand that. But there's been a 17% decline in expenditure from the previous years. It's gone from 107 million down by 17%, which is rather good to see. Also, 2,300 public engagements, 464 of which were done by His Majesty, despite, of course, his poor health. And the most expensive trip, of course, was to Kenya, which was 166,000 to charter the flight. But it was an important visit, and I think, you know, Britain, you know, Britain is the world's second leading soft power, and the monarchy is a crucial part of that soft power. And and the price of that, of course, is incalculable. You know, during the...
Lovely. Sorry, we're just fast running out of time. I could listen to you all day, Rafe. You're brilliant. Your expertise is top-notch. And I think you're quite right. You know, at a time when so much of our heritage and identity is being eroded away from all parts, it's nice to have the royal family there as a, you know, sort of a comforting institution.